Africa, a continent of over 1.4 billion people, more than 3,000 cultures, thousands of languages, and some of the youngest, fastest growing populations on Earth. But every year on May 25th, Africa celebrates a dream the world still underestimates. It celebrates something bigger than borders, flags, or politics. A dream, the dream of a united Africa. This day is known as the African Union Day or the AU Day. But what does it really mean, and why does it still matter today? To understand African Union Day, we have to go back to 1963. At the time, many African nations had just gained independence from colonial rule. The continent was changing rapidly, but African leaders knew independence alone was not enough. Africa needed unity. So on May 25th, 1963, leaders from 32 African countries gathered in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and formed the Organization of African Unity, also known as the OAU.
Only a united Africa under a union government can cure us of our economic ills and let us out of our despair and frustration.
Their mission was bold: to unite African nations, protect independence, fight colonialism, and create a stronger future for the continent. One of the strongest voices behind this vision was Ghana's first president, Osagyefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He believed Africa could only truly succeed if we worked together as one. For decades, the OAU became a symbol of African solidarity, but as the world changed, Africa changed too. New economic challenges emerged, technology evolved, global trade expanded, and the continent needed a new kind of organization.
That the African, given the chance, can manage his own affairs.
And can you live up to this chance, do you think?
I think we are prepared to live up to this opportunity.
The AU replaced the OAU with a broader vision for Africa's future. Today, the African Union focuses on peacekeeping, economic growth, infrastructure, education, trade, and cooperation between African countries. Projects like the African Continental Free Trade Area aim to connect African economies and increase trade across the continent. And while challenges still exist, Africa is rising in ways the world cannot ignore. African music now dominates global charts.
Feeling me, I'm a dad before my dad. Feeling me, I'm a dad before the sunset shines in the morning. Feeling me, I'm a dad.
African fashion influences international culture. Cities like Accra, Lagos, Nairobi, Kigali, and Johannesburg are becoming symbols of innovation and ambition. And perhaps most importantly, Africa's youth are changing the narrative. Young Africans are building businesses, creating content, leading movements, and redefining what the future of Africa looks like. But African Union Day is not just a celebration, it is also a reminder that unity is still a work in progress. Many African nations still face challenges like poverty, corruption, conflict, unemployment, and political instability. And despite all the progress, the dream of a fully united Africa remains unfinished. But maybe that's what makes African Union Day important. It reminds Africans everywhere that the future of the continent is still being written, not by outsiders, but by Africans themselves. So today, African Union Day is more than history. It is hope. Hope for stronger economies, hope for innovation, hope for peace, hope for unity, and hope for a generation bold enough to dream bigger than the past. Because the story of Africa is still being written. And maybe the best chapters are yet to come.
Our enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They play upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. They do not tell us that we should unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free. We want, therefore, to develop our own community and an African personality. Others may feel that they have evolved the very best way of life, but we are not bound, like slavish imitators, to accept it